Hello, it's Mr. Eason here with homework help for section 10.3. This section was probably the most difficult of the geometry sections. It's kind of combining a lot of the ideas we've already been looking at with angles, lines, line segments, rays, points, and trying to put it all together into this section. So it's a little bit challenging. We've taken a few days in class to work on this, and I'm still not sure if we're quite where we need to be, but we are getting there, and so I wanted to post this video in case we needed some extra help at home. And this section deals with 3 different types of lines. They also could be rays or line segments. And the first type of line segment, or ray, are intersecting lines, and those are just lines that cross. They don't have to make any particular angles, they just have to cross. And so we can see here that line HI intersects line JK, and they intersect at point X. So they could be intersecting anywhere. The top and bottom angles are obtuse angles, and the left and right angles are acute angles. So they do cross and they do make angles. So that might be kind of important. Secondly, we have parallel lines, and parallel lines never cross, even if they went on forever. So we can see line DE is parallel to line FG. And if you look over here in the write it section, we've got this thing right here, this symbol. And it says DE, and that's line DE. And it has those 2 lines that look parallel, and that is the symbol for parallel. And so if we're writing that 2 lines are parallel, that's the symbol we need to put in the middle. Okay? And then the last type of lines are perpendicular lines, and they are a special type of intersecting lines. Those lines intersect and they make right angles. And so it says line LM is perpendicular to line NO. And you can see that symbol over here in between line LM and line NO. It looks like an upside down capital T. That means that those are perpendicular to. So if you see that symbol, that means you need to make them perpendicular. I had the kids in their books also draw 2 other examples. One example I had them draw was something that looked like this, and these lines are perpendicular, and you will see that some this section and also some next section when you're looking at shapes. Those lines are perpendicular because they are touching and they are making a right angle. Another type of line you might see that is also perpendicular is looking just like this. So now we're going to get into the problems on the next page. So on numbers 4 and 5, we are supposed to use the picture on the right. Number 4 says name a pair of lines that appear to be perpendicular. And remember, perpendicular means that they are crossing to make right angles. And the picture gives us a nice clue here because they show us the right angle symbol, which is a small blue square. So that whichever 2 lines make that right angle are the 2 lines that are perpendicular. So in this case, that line would be FJ and HG. They make right angles when they cross. So those are the 2 lines that are perpendicular. So we will zoom in here so we can write it down correctly. And our 2 lines are FJ and HG. So we'll write FJ, HG, and we do need to put our line symbol on top, which is a line with 2 arrows, just like a line is in real life. So zoom back out here. Number 5 says name a pair of lines that appear to be parallel. So parallel means that they are never going to cross, even if they went on forever. So we'll go over here, we'll look at our picture, and we'll look for lines that never will touch. And that looks to me like we've got DC, I'm going to use a different color here, and FJ again. They went on forever, they would never touch, so we have DC and FJ. DC, FJ, and again we need to put our line on top. Excellent. So, last three we're going to work on is 6, 7, and 8. And in this case, instead of looking for the figure, we are actually drawing what the figure might look like. So, number 6 says RS and TU. They look like line segments because they have no arrows on the labels on top. And that symbol in the middle means parallel. So, we need to make two parallel line segments. RS and TU. So we could make them going up and down, side to side, or diagonal. I'm going to make mine go up and down. I will put our dots. And we have RS. And we have TU. And that is pretty simple. Number 7 is a bit tricky, because if you notice, they have a K in both of the things we are drawing, in both of our rays. We have ray KL and ray KM. So what that means is they have to share the common point of K. You can't have two Ks on the same picture that are in different spots. So first we'll draw our ray KL, which includes a dot and a line and an arrow. So we've got K, we've got L, and KM, that means it could go off in any direction. It could go up, it could go diagonally, it could go down. It doesn't matter. It doesn't specify which way. So I'm going to make mine go down this way. We'll make this M, and that would be KL and KM. Number 8 is a bit more specific, but kind of similar. It says CD and DE. They are line segments, and they do share a common point of D, but these need to be perpendicular. That upside down capitalized T means perpendicular, means they make right angles. So we'll start off by drawing CD as a line segment. So we'll have C, we'll have D, and we need to have the D be the same D that we used for CD. So DE, we need to have our E coming off in some way to make a right angle, which means it has to come straight off to the right or straight off to the left. I'll make mine go right, put our dot, and we've got E over here, and that would be CD is parallel to DE. We are making a right angle. We have used that common point of D, and so we have been practicing this for many days, and we are still getting better, but I think we are about at the point where we are okay on it, and so we will be moving on and forward. This has been Mr. Eason with Homework Help. Thanks.